for supplies, but I'm so happy to have you guys here. If you could, when you hop on, it would be really nice to just have you introduce yourself in comments, say where you're from, something like that. That would really help me to know if you can hear me okay too, or if you have any questions. So anyways, sounds good. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and start explaining what to expect today. We're going to be painting this watermelon, fun summer watermelon here. And so the supplies that we'll need, right here I have an 8x8 canvas, and you don't necessarily need to have an 8x8 canvas. You can really paint on anything that you have, paper, anything like that. So I got 8x8 canvas. I have my colors right over here. We're going to do aqua, cadmium red, medium, cadmium yellow, medium, phthalo green, titanium white, and then Mars black. So it's also good too, if you have something to put, like a little palette to put your paints on. That also, a lot of times I'll just use like paper plates or, just really convenient things. So that's what our colors are for today. For brushes, I have just some basic, maybe I'll show it here. You can see it better. Yeah. So for brushes, something just kind of like this, especially if you're doing big areas like blocking in or like right here. That's nice. You can get really good straight edges. So this is a flat brush, and then like a mid-size round brush, something kind of like this, more for details and like the little seeds in there. So yeah. So we got brushes covered. Always good to have supplies. Okay. Also too, just a couple extra things I forgot to mention. Spray bottle. Sometimes, especially when you're first starting, that canvases can be a little dry with acrylic paint. Give it a little spritz and you'll find that the paint spreads a lot easier. So that, and then I'm wearing a paint apron. I'm pretty messy when I paint. I haven't even started yet and I already have paint on my hands. So yeah. So anyways, those are our supplies today and our canvas. So what I'm going to do is first, there's 3 steps to this painting. The very first step is that we are going to outline the line where that watermelon is first. And I actually need chalk for that, which I forgot. Oops. So what I'm going to do instead, or if you have chalk and really just like a light pencil too, you can trace it. So no worries there. So you never know on a live what can happen. Sometimes we forget things. Oh, and also to your water jar and paper towels are very important to kind of dab and clean your brush with. So I am first going to start with this outline that we see here, so I can get a good definition of where exactly that begins. So I am going to take a little bit on my phthalo because this is the darkest piece of the watermelon. I hope you guys can see that okay. Phthalo green, pull some out there and load it up. We've got phthalo green, tiniest bit of black just to kind of make it, just a little darker since it is that darkest outside part. So we'll do that. Be a little water. I got a fan going, and that's not always the best for these acrylic paints, but it's almost summer, this humidity. Gotta have cool air there. Hi. I'm so glad you joined me to paint. Got some people hopping on, so that is great. I am going to go ahead and turn this reference picture around so I can get a correct angle on this. Okay, so I'm just going to And, this first layer, it really doesn't have to be perfect, because you're just kind of outlining things. And this first step is really mostly just about outlining and making sure that you get the right proportions. So see how it kind of fades, that color there. So we're going to mix a couple different colors over here to get that yellowish green. And that technique is called blending wet into wet. So I am going to go ahead, if you can see here, grab some yellow. We want to make that just a little, less green. So we're going to make some cad yellow into that. Maybe just a little white for later. So mixing colors is, it can be daunting. It doesn't have to be. It's really actually fun to do because you never get the same painting twice. See, as I'm just kind of, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's just kind of like a shade, just one shade lighter than that darkest green on the outside of the watermelon. And for this, I'm actually using a round brush. This happens to be a round 8. It's really, really good for like if you're doing curved lines like this. So I think that's good there. I think what I want to do, we'll rinse out. And we are going to take just a little bit of titanium white. Also, another important thing I brought out here that I like to work from left to right on the canvas because you don't want to get your hand in it, especially if you're right-handed. So just kind of blend just a little bit, kind of make it look like a watermelon does. Okay, that's looking good there. So I think I'm going to actually let this dry just a little bit. We'll come back to this piece and we're going to start blocking in the background there. The way that it's painted, I kind of wanted it to look like grass. So when I did that, I just kind of like put X's there with like you could use your flat brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that next. I'm gonna grab just this aqua right here. And you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna miss this. Get that paint to spread a lot better. Okay, you see how I'm just kind of making X's here? Push that water jar back. There we go. So fun. I love painting in the background and doing those like really fun little X marks and, just having fun with it. That's the best part of painting, I think, is just watching something happen in front of you. It's so relaxing. We want to be careful when we're on like right next to, I'm going to load up that little more aqua. Now, when you do that with your brush, I'm going to actually load up both sides. If you see what I'm doing with my brush here, pull that out from the center, one here on both sides. And you come over and just kind of lightly make those X's there. The background can really be whatever color that you want it to be. I just chose aqua because for some reason I have a lot of this paint, this color. I don't know why or how that happened, but also it's just a super fun summer color. It's super bright and cheery. Okay, I'm going to just add just a little bit more, just kind of make it darker there. And then I think I'm actually going to add a little bit of white to that. Grab a little bit of white, just a little. I almost think this kind of looks like grass. I don't know. Like grass blowing in the wind on a picnic day or something. Okay, great. So that is actually the very first step that we did. We have our background completed. After this, you want to wash out that brush really good. Give it a good wash so you don't, mix colors or. All right. It's got our background completed here. Got the top of the rind. I'm gonna flip this around. So I'm gonna focus next on the white between the red, like where it goes pink, like white to pink. So with your brush all washed out, you're actually going to pull out just a little bit of that white. I'm gonna make a little spot over here for my like pink. Pink white here. And it's just like the littlest amount of red to mix this nice little pink color that you'll be putting right in between. So we'll do that. Take a little bit more white. So I want to say this is mostly white, this little spot right here. Do like 3 parts white to 1 tiny piece of like little dot of red. I know, sorry, that's probably not the correct wording there, but so we're going to do that white. Going to come over to your watermelon here. Goodness, this needs a little bit more water. Not too much though. I got that a little too pink, so I'm going to actually go in, lighten it up just a little bit. And the thing about acrylic material is really nice. It's very forgiving, especially for beginners. That's what I started on. And, if you do kind of make a color that you didn't mean to, or you want to do something a different way, the nice thing about it is that it dries really quickly and you can. So I think I'm going to put actually a little bit more of that white there. And now I'm just going to start gradually adding that red color. This technique is called blending wet into wet. So just kind of as this progresses, the color will slightly progress. I'll get just a little darker with each layer. There we go. That's filling in nice. Grab and pull just a little more of that red. See, and then it has that really, really awesome effect where it gradually just kind of starts blending there. And now I'm going to pull out just like one shade down. We're going to change our value there. And slowly kind of blend it into the colors that we already have. This is going to actually be continuation of like to the darkest red. This. And I think I'll just kind of do this. I hope you guys can see that okay. I think so. Oh, I see on the camera there's like two pieces right here. I kind of want to blend a little bit better. So we'll just kind of, there we go. I like the way that looks a little bit better. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then for this, like the very tip of it, go ahead and pull out a little bit of that deepest red color and do that just right here. And there you go. You have completed that little summery slice of watermelon there. So in order to do the next step, we have to wait until this dries completely. Also, I would recommend rinse that brush out. Oop, I got a little sloppy there. Let me do it just one more time. Okay. So actually, there's a really good thing that you can do if you have a painting and you don't necessarily want to wait for it to dry or take, so long for it to dry. What you do is you get a hair dryer. Excuse me, I'm gonna actually, I thought I had it here. Hair dryer. And you make sure that it's on the coolest setting. Just turn it on and gradually get that to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and do that just so I can demonstrate how it works for you. Cool button. Okay, so that looks dry. That didn't take too long. But just to make sure, if you're not completely sure if it dries, you can kind of tap it, make sure it was dry. And also a lot of times when I'm actually blow drying it, I like to kind of look at an angle. And if any pieces of it are still shiny, I know that it needs a little bit more work. So that looks good. We're going to move on. Then can you believe we're already at step 3, which that just shows how simple and fun this painting can be. Rinse out that brush. But now I'm actually going to switch brushes. This is a good time to either use that, the smaller round brush. You could use this size. This is a round 8, or I think I'm actually going to use a round 4 for the seeds. And this is the best part. So dip it in the water. And I love how simple this is and how it's very random. You can just kind of place them wherever you feel like you want it. So I hope you see how to make the seed. You just kind of do it in like a teardrop with the very point of your brush, the toe of the brush. You can see that. And get it a little bit more wet. And the interesting thing about acrylic paint too, there's all different kinds. There's the craft paint that you can use. That's a little more, the consistency is a little bit more liquidy. And then what I use is the heavy body acrylic paints. And sometimes it's like, especially for stuff like this, if you water it down, you'll see you'll get like a little bit better. It's easier as far as like how it flows off the brush. See, oh, that's so much better. So yeah, just add, if you're having a hard time getting that, like that black to just really flow off the brush, add a little bit of water. Tip, very, very tip of your brush there, and draw with the tip a little seed. And when you're painting, I don't know, I do this, which is like, I know I'll like say something to help it, like, because I feel like if it does, it flows out of the brush better. So like in my mind, I'm like, watermelon seed. I know. But for some reason, when it's like I say that in my mind, it really does work better. I don't know. And you don't have to get like all, I don't want to say like anxious about where to put these. That's the best part. They're just random. This is your watermelon. You make it look how you want. I'm actually really looking forward to painting this with my boys. That is one of my favorite things to do. And it was actually through COVID that I discovered how much I enjoy painting and what a fun activity it is to do with your kids, especially, you know, the crazy year we had and everyone inside. What are we going to do I let them do screen time, but this is so much better in my opinion, because creativity in kids is just, it helps their little minds develop. Anyway, I think I am good with where I'm at with these watermelon seeds. I got to talking and I just put so many in. I would not want to bite into that watermelon. In fact, I'm so happy that they actually now have those seedless ones, because seriously, I love watermelon. But although, you know, there are actually some people that like the seeds and fruits. I had a friend a while back that I remember her telling me she loved raspberry seeds, and I was just like, what? So if you do like seeds, hey, to each his own. Okay, so we don't want to forget the last part, which is the best part and also my favorite. You add your signature. Usually I try to do it like, I'm going to flip this around again for you guys so you can see it. So usually I just kind of do it like in a little place in the corner, because you don't want to distract from your painting. Like right here, I just put my initials. You can put your initials, you can put your last name, whatever you want to put. I'm going to use actually the smallest. For this, I think this is just like a tiny round brush here. I think it's like a 1. So just kind of wet it there. And this is a fun part too. You get to pick what color. I don't really want something that distracts from it. So I think we'll do like this dark phthalo green over here. And I think we'll just go ahead. I'm going to make this. Put my initials right here. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know. There's just something about adding your name at the end that is just like a really good feeling to know that you created something and it's yours. So pretty easy, right, guys? I mean, it was fun too. Turn this around. Ta-da! Now we have our completed watermelon. And that's it. I really enjoyed painting with you guys today. I'm so happy that you came to join to paint this. I had a lot of fun. I wanted to tell you on my next live, I'm going to try to do these weekly, especially with my kids being out of school. My next one, who likes sloths? We're going to be doing sloth. I just love this little guy. He's so cute. And I'm so excited to show everyone how to paint him. So join me next week for another live and we'll paint this guy. And also I want to mention too, there is a page connected, like a group connected to my page where you can post your art. And do post it. I would really love if you joined the group and shared with me what you're working on. I would love to see that. So anyway, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time. And have a great day. Keep painting.